Hello, guys. Good afternoon, and a warm welcome to each and everyone at MUIC Red Devils NCR. This is Delvin, and we are going to talk about some more interesting facts about Man United and certain situations about the club in the past few days, weeks, or months, if you're going to talk about. Before I start with the main crux of this video, a huge congratulations to Christian Eriksen for winning the Laureus Award for the comeback of the year. It is indeed a great story for Christian Eriksen, a player who was almost confined to the shadows of death, but has made a remarkable comeback, beating a huge number of odds and still playing at the highest level in one of the biggest clubs in the world before uh, after playing for Brentford and steering them to safety as well. So huge congratulations to Christian Eriksen on that feat, and here's hoping for him to have a much more integral part in United's trajectory as a club, making the upper stages and also helping us to finish this season on a positive note. So once again, huge congratulations to Christian Eriksen on this huge achievement of his. Coming to the topic, today's topic is about a player who joined us in the summer transfer deadline of 2020, has played a handful of games for us and has been on a couple of loan spells, but it is now that his achievements have been, magnified in a grander scheme of things due to the performances that he's been putting in at his club. The player in question here is Ahmad, who joined us from Atalanta in 2020, played for us in a couple of games, most notably scoring his only goal as of now of his United career in a Europa League round of 16 game against AC Milan in that very same season. He also has a Premier League assist to his name, assisting Mason Greenwood in the 2-1 loss to Leicester in the 2021 season itself. After that, he's had a loan spell at Rangers, which is not exactly fruitful, where he barely got a chance. And then afterwards, he got a loan spell to Sunderland, and it is at Sunderland where Ahmad has been making not only waves, but he's creating ripples due to his talent and due to the impact that he's had at the club. So to compact the numbers or the impact that he's had in Sunderland. Ahmad this season has been Sunderland's highest goal scorer with 13 goals, and he's one of only two players in that Sunderland side who's had double figures for goals this season. Aside from his 13 goals, he's also had 4 assists, which means that he's had an involvement in 17 of the 55 goals that Sunderland have scored this season in the championship. Ahmad's impact has been a major catalyst for the fact that Sunderland have made such a great run in their promotion to the championship and have finished sixth at the end of this championship season so far, which makes them a play contender to reach the Premier League in the upcoming season via the playoffs. They still have a couple of games to play. Whether or not they will be promoted to the Premier League remains to be seen, but it is there for everyone to see that Ahmad has been a driving force for Sunderland's resurgence and potential promotion to the Premier League. Ahmad has also won the EFL Player of the Month in December, and yesterday he once again made highlights due to a stunning goal that he scored against Preston, if I'm not wrong. Yes, I think it was Preston, where he scored a 20-yard first-time shot into the top corner from his left foot, which has got a lot of United fans, a lot of people associated with United talking about where exactly does Ahmad's future lie. When Ahmad was bought in from Manchester United, there were a lot of questions asked, and there were a lot of theories made about that Ahmad was just a smoke screen because we were unable to land Sancho. And the reason why Ahmad was bought in was to offset the criticism or the backlash that we were receiving at the time when we were unable to get Sancho in that particular transfer window. While part of that assessment was true, it still goes to show that Ahmad has bundles of talent and a huge load of potential. Sunderland's manager Neil Mowbray has praised Ahmad for the impact that he's had, and he's been a very key component in transforming the fortunes of that club. We all know Sunderland at one point was a Premier League club, but their downfall was a pretty sad one, which got them all the way to League Two, which is the fourth division of English football. And from there on, they've gone on from strength to strength. And it is now that they are once again flexing their might and on the verge of making grand entry to the Premier League. And Ahmad has been a key force, a key contributor in that. Uh, so the question arises here is, do we invest in Ahmad stocks for him to be a key part of the United first team squad from next season onwards? Or the other question arising is that whether is he actually ready to make that step from Championship football to Premier League football? Now we've seen a lot of players who are unable to make that step up, but Ahmad does have the quality. We will talk about both sides of the same coin in a bit. For now, let us talk about why Ahmad could be such a key component if at all we decide to make him a part of our setup in the first team coming to this season. So a couple of weeks ago, Sunderland manager Neil Mowbray obviously made it clear that he's not going to stay at Sunderland beyond this season, which automatically means that he will be coming back to Man United for the foreseeable future. Now, Ahmad has a lot of qualities. His defensive work rate is spot on. He's ambipedal, which means he can use both his feet. He's comfortable with either foot, and he also gives a more than adequate cover to the players on the right side of the pitch. Ahmad can obviously play on the left as well, but it is the right which is his favored position. Now, the right-sided position for Man United this season has been occupied by Antony and Sancho. Well, Antony has been the preferred pick for most of the time, and Sancho has been more of a drifter where he's played on the left and on the right as well. The problem here is that we've been seeing in the past few games that there have been instances where Ten Hag has shifted Bruno also towards the right. And while against teams who are not exactly, with all due respect to those teams who are not exactly able to compete with us, playing Bruno on the right has been a fairly successful experiment. But in the games against big sides or teams in and around Man United who are challenging for bigger honors, say a top four place or the title challengers, playing Bruno on the right has been an exercise in futility. Bruno is our most creative player, our chance creator, our orchestrator, and the fulcrum of our attacking moves. And automatically, it reduces our impact on the attacking scheme of things when Bruno is shifted out to the right. And adding Ahmad into the mix automatically makes sure that Bruno plays at his most preferred position of the number 10, where he's able to inflict more damage on the opposition. And also, it gives us a very able and a very quality backup option on the right as well, with Ahmad out there. So that means Antony and Ahmad can more often than not share the creative burden on the right hand side, and that could be a very, very key component in United approaching things forward. Ahmad's willingness to do the dirty work will also be noticed by Ten Hag, and Ten Hag has also been glowing in his praise for Ahmad, saying that Ahmad has been doing a pretty good job in the championship, and we will have to see what can be done once the season is over. Now, if Ahmad has already been hailed by the Sunderland fans as having a massive impact, as I said earlier. He's been called as one of the greatest loan signings of Sunderland, and provided if he does take them to the Premier League, he would be already considered as a cult hero out there. Now, another school of thought about whether Ahmad should be in the United setup or no is the point that I mentioned earlier. A lot of players who have come from the Premier League via the Championship have found it very difficult to acclimatize to the Premier League. While the Championship is a pretty tough league, it is one of the most physical and toughest competitions. The level of the Premier League is miles above the Championship. There is no second thoughts about that. There is no two ways about it. So another issue could be that Ahmad could find acclimatization, the level of physicality, the level of technicality in the Premier League a little too much for his liking. However, Ahmad does have a few Premier League appearances in his belt, which is not much of a sample size to see whether or not he'll actually cut it in the Premier League. But it could be a factor in influencing Ten Hag's decision whether Ahmad could actually make a difference in the Premier League setup or no. As far as I am concerned, Ahmad definitely deserves recognition for the impact and the performances that he's done. He's gone ahead and proved in one of the toughest leagues that Ahmad can cut it out, and he can have a huge say when when he's been called upon to do a job. Ahmad himself has had a desire to play for United. He believes that his qualities, his skill sets, his abilities could help in United and could make a huge difference in games where you do need a player of Ahmad's quality. A forward line of Garnacho on the left and Ahmad on the right could be a very tantalizing prospect. And with both of them very tender in their age and very tender in their stages of their careers, also, it could be a very, very attractive proposition to have them as our backup wing options, which gives us much more breathing room as far as attacking options are concerned. Because let's be honest, Ten Hag this season has not had the best of options to call upon from the bench to make a difference. He's working with what he has, and while he's done a great job of it, I think we need to have much better options, and Ahmad certainly fits that bill. But there is, I certainly do believe that maybe there will be a fair section of the United hierarchy that do think that Ahmad is still not ready, and then that's where another loan comes into play. However, this time I do believe that if a question arises of whether Ahmad should be loaned, it should be a Premier League club and not a Championship club, because Ahmad has gone ahead and proven everything there is to be proven as far as the Championship football structure is concerned. He's had the most goals in the side that he's playing. His impact has been pronounced, and he's been one of the key factors why Sunderland are in a position where they are. They've been hanging around on the coattails for so long, but the final run of the fixtures, Ahmad led them and has brought them to sixth position. So, as far as that point is concerned, Ahmad has done everything he has to warrant that he succeeded in the championship. So, I think the next and the logical step becomes a loan spell to a Premier League club. He gets 38 games to acclimatize to the Premier League, atone himself to the physical and mental needs of the Premier League, and that could make him a much better, a much well-rounded player from a technical standpoint, from a physical standpoint, even from a mental standpoint. But the caveat here is that Ahmad should be going in a side where he is guaranteed regular minutes. You cannot go to a Premier League side on loan and sit on the bench for vast majority of the league. We've seen that happen with multiple players not in the Premier League. Pelestri was loaned to Alaves, but he barely got a sniff in. So that those type of loan spells do not work. Even Ahmad's loan with Ranger was a similar situation where he was loaned to a promising team, but he wasn't given the required minutes to make a difference there. You need to have a team which gives him the required cushion of minutes to make a difference, and that is why I believe maybe there could be a little bit of a realistic opinion about Ahmad getting minutes in a other Premier League side to build up his confidence, to build up his endurance levels. But I think the more pressing verdict here would be that Ahmad deserves a run in the Man United side. There will be a whole preseason to determine and for Ten Hag to come to a decision whether Ahmad can actually cut it in the Premier League or no. I certainly believe he can. He can definitely make a difference. And in a team that requires the X factor, Garnacho and Ahmad could be a very, very telling factor for our side in the years to come. So my 2 cents in the matter, yes, he deserves a chance in the first team, but I wouldn't be disappointed if Ahmad gets a loan spell in one of the Premier League sides, provided he gets the required minutes to play or has a first team involvement in the side that he will be loaned out to. So that is what I feel about the Ahmad situation, and I certainly believe that Ahmad is a very, very talented boy. He's a very, very talented individual, and he has a very, very bright future ahead of him. His performances as Sunderland only go on to magnify why United invested a significant amount of money on him in the first place. And that goes to show how he's highly rated and how he's conceived to be or perceived to be in the side. So, great talent. I hope he does well, and I hope to see him in a United shirt very, very soon. Thank you so much to all of you for tuning in to this video. Do appreciate our efforts and help us in our journey of 2,500 subscribers in our YouTube channel. Do press the like button if you do enjoy the video. Do subscribe to our channel as well. We would love to have you on board, and do share this video to as many United fans as possible. Do follow us on our social media accounts on Instagram and Twitter. The link is in the description below. Also, join us in our ever growing WhatsApp family where we always have room for more. With that being said, we come to an end of this episode of Ahmad and NUSC Red Devils NCR. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate your support. We really appreciate your love. Do join us. And up until then, I'll see you on the other side. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and GG and you to all.